Hello and welcome to TSM CIS 607 Advanced Topics in Project Management course. My name is Dr. Vlad Krotov and I will be your instructor for this course. Now, before I say anything else, I would like to emphasize the following. This video is not meant to be a replacement for the course syllabus. After watching this video, you still need to read the course syllabus. In fact, I highly advise you that you read it carefully, every section and every line, because as you well know, at this stage of your academic career, a syllabus is a formal document that outlines all the rules and policies in relation to this course or any other course, so you better be familiar with these rules and policies, okay? Also, as you will see in Canvas, there is a quiz based on the syllabus, so you still need to read the syllabus. So that's what I would like to emphasize first. So what is this video for? This video is mainly to help you get started with our course in Canvas. So I will talk about practical matters of completing this course, where you should start, how you should proceed through the course, and things like that. But before we do that, let me just say a few words about the content of this course. This course is devoted to advanced topics in project management. There are many advanced topics that we will discuss in this course. These topics include such things or issues in project management as contracting, risk management, vendor management, vendor relationships, and so forth. But I would say that all of those topics, they fall under the umbrella of procurement management. So this course is largely devoted to procurement. So why are we talking about procurements in the context of project management? Well, as you probably know, nowadays a lot of IT or telecommunications projects are carried out not by doing things internally, but by subcontracting work from outside and purchasing hardware and software products from outside of the organization. And this is what procurement is largely about. It's about procuring or acquiring or purchasing goods and services from the outside of the organization using various legal and management mechanisms. So this course is a comprehensive survey of all the concepts, processes, issues, and ideas in relation to procurement management. So this is my brief summary as to what this course is about. Okay. Now let's go to the main agenda of this video. If you don't mind, I will show you how this course looks in Canvas and how you should go about completing this course. Okay. When you open our course Canvas page, you will see that pretty much the entire course content has been published already. Okay. At the very top of this of our course page, you will see my announcements. At least once a week, I will create an announcement telling you what's coming up for the week, so that you have like a rough understanding of what needs to be done, what's ahead of you for that week. And also between those weekly announcements, I will emphasize something important. For example, I will tell you that a midterm exam is due in a few days or something like that. So please pay attention to those announcements. They're always at the top of the page. Only the newest 3 announcements are shown, but if you click on those announcements, it should open all of the announcements for the course. So if you forget about something and you want to read them, okay? Now, this course has what I think is a very simple linear format. This is what I mean by linear. You start at the top with the very first module called Introduction to the Course, and you proceed all the way to the bottom until you take the final exam. Okay, so this is how this course is laid out. And also the same applies to the layout within modules. For each particular module, you stop at the very top and you proceed completing one item at a time. Okay. Probably with the exception of general questions. I usually pin general questions in relation to module at the very top so that you can always go back and see what people are asking or ask your own questions. Okay. I'm not going to go through all of the modules in this course. Let me just start at the top and go through the first few modules so that you have like a more granular understanding of how to proceed through this course. So the first module that you will complete in this course is Introduction to the Course module. You need to start with an intro video. Since you're watching this intro video, it means that you already started. You already clicked on this intro video link that will bring you hopefully to YouTube so that you can watch this intro video. If after completing this module or at any other time point throughout the duration of the course, you have any general questions about the course, something in relation to the syllabus, then please post your questions here. I'm usually good about responding to questions in Canvas. However, if I'm not responding for some reason, then send me an email, send me like a reminder saying, look, I posted this question and please answer this question in a particular discussion thread. Also, if you think you know the answer, feel free to answer on my behalf. In fact, I would really appreciate it. Sometimes students know a better answer because things look different from a student's perspective than from an instructor's perspective. So you may have a more precise way of answering a particular question and understanding what the question is all about. So feel free to do that. In fact, I would like to say that if you have any question related to the course content, okay, then please post your question to Canvas. So if you have a general question, post it here. If you have a question about Procurement Plan, which is your major deliverable worth 40% of your final grade, then post your questions here. Okay, if you have questions about Chapter 1, if you believe that there's something wrong with one of the quiz questions, if you don't understand something in my video presentation, then please post your questions here. In fact, if you have just some general comments, anything to say, anything to share in relation to Chapter 1, this is where you can post it. And jumping forward a little bit, I would like to know that there is a participation grade assigned to this course, and this participation grade is assigned partially based on your interactions with the instructor and students within the Canvas page, right? So if you post questions, meaningful questions once in a while, most likely you will do well with respect to that participation grade, okay? So yeah, you start at the top and you just do one item, you proceed, you complete, you view one item at a time. So the first thing I'm asking you to do is to introduce yourself, and this is a part of the participation grade. I will give you actually a grade for your introduction. It doesn't have to be like a very elaborate introduction, but just tell us tell us your name, tell us about your major, what you're studying, tell us about your professional experience, if any, about your future career goals, your hobbies, and everything else that is interesting about you, and anything else that you feel you would like to share with everybody else. So that's what you will do next in the introduction module. Then please visit our YouTube playlist, my YouTube channel. This is where I post all of my video presentations, including this intro video. But most of my video presentations are related to the course chapters that we'll cover. I'm using the so-called voice over PowerPoints format, where I lecture over PowerPoint slides. So visit our YouTube channel so that you see what's available. Also in this course, the first quiz in relation about the syllabus and then midterm and final exam are administered using the lockdown browser software that has web monitor enabled. So which means that you need to have the software to take the first quiz related to the syllabus and then midterm and final exam. You probably know what lockdown browser software is. It's a software that locks you in on the exam so that you cannot go anywhere else. And also there is you need to have a working web camera enabled, so as you take the exam you are being filmed. So in case there's something suspicious going on, if somebody walks into the room, if you disappear from the screen, then the system will capture that. Ultimately this is all a part of an anti-cheating system, although I know that nobody at the graduate level, nobody really intends to cheat. So this is just in case security layer that I would like to have in my course, and also I'm required to have it in my course. Okay, the College of Business requires to have those security measures for graduate online courses. By the way, the rest of the quizzes related to chapters and procurement plan, they are not lockdown protected. Okay, they are not timed, and you have 2 attempts for each quiz. So for example, you read Chapter 1 or you watch my video presentation or both, then you take Chapter 1 quiz. It's not timed, it's open book, open books, open notes. You can use any resources that you have. You'll get your grade, and then you can see which questions you miss, and then you can go back and retake this quiz by changing the answer for those questions that you missed, right? So my quizzes are not meant to catch you off guard. I know students hate quizzes because that reminds them of those high school days when they come to school unprepared, and then the teacher says, okay, put all of your stuff away, take out a sheet of paper, we will have a quiz. No, my quizzes are not like that. It's more like a self-assessment tool where you test yourself to know what you know and what you don't know, and also to get a sense of how well you're likely to do on the midterm and final exams, because the format of questions for the midterm and final exams will be exactly the same as the format of questions that you will see for those quizzes, right? So this is more like a self-assessment self-study tool. Okay. Now, the only exception is the first syllabus quiz. It has the same format as the midterm and final exams, meaning it is timed, you have only one attempt, it's protected by lockdown browser software, and you also need to have a working webcam to take this quiz. Okay. Now, before you take this quiz using those features, the system will guide you through certain procedures. Even for the syllabus quiz, it will ask you to show your surroundings. So you will take your webcam or you will take your laptop and kind of show people around what you have in your room so that people are sure that nobody else is there. Also, it will ask you to show an ID to the web camera before you start. Any ID is fine. You can use your MSU student ID. You can use your driver's license. Just show it to the webcam so that it can be captured. And there will be like some other security steps or procedures that you need to go through. If you don't have experience with Respondus lockdown software that includes the monitor, please read the instructions. One question that I get asked all the time is where to download it. Don't download it on your own, in a sense that don't Google for it, because every university has a license to it, so you need to download the software using Murray State University license. Now, when you click on the syllabus quiz, and in case you don't have this browser installed on your computer, the system will give you a link. It will show you something like a Respondus lockdown browser is required to take this quiz, and somewhere below there will be a link where you can download that software. Okay, you won't be able to download it from any other website, so you need to follow that link. If you do have lockdown browser installed, then you're fine. Make sure you have a working web camera, and it will automatically, in that case, you should access the system, access the quiz using the lockdown browser in the first place. Okay. So, but nevertheless, I have this manual right here in case you would like to read more about this functionality. And again, the only items that are protected by this functionality are the syllabus quiz, the midterm, and the final exam. Now, the reason I'm protecting the syllabus quiz is that I want you from day one to get used to this format so that whatever comes up during the midterm exam and final exam will not be a surprise for you. So I want you to figure out those things, how to use lockdown browser, how to use web monitor, way before you take actual exams. Okay. Now, after you take the syllabus quiz, then share your thoughts about the course. Again, it's a graded discussion. It's something that is used to compute your participation grade. Just tell me what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what are the things that you think I need to improve so that you can proceed through this course smoothly and ultimately succeed in this course. Please be honest. I mean, as long as you're respectful about your criticism, I'm not gonna be upset about it. Even if I'm upset about it, I'm not gonna be. I will not punish you somehow for being upfront about your comments, but I want to know from day one, like, what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what are the things that I can do to improve the quality of this course. Because although I'm publishing the course in its entirety, there's some room for doing changes and rearranging things a little bit within reasonable limits, of course. So if it is something I can do to help you with this course, to help you out a little bit, I'll be glad to do it. Okay. So after you're done with this module, you'll proceed to the next module called Procurement Plan. Once again, this is the most important component of this course. Well, probably one of the most important components, because your midterm and final exam also amount to 40% of your final grade. So this is like one of the most important components of this course. I guess you can say it's the most important component because this is where a lot of students fail, to the point where sometimes I have summer courses where students complete everything and they do well, but they never submit the procurement plan, or they submit something that is really like, it's clear to me that they started writing it a few days ago and they get an F, something close to an F based on the rubric, and that brings down their entire grade by, 2-letter grades, right? So they would get an A or a B in this course, but since they did a really bad job on the procurement plan, it brings it down to C or a D or something like that, okay? So this is why I'm putting this module right here at the top. You may not have knowledge to complete all the sections, because we'll be covering all those sections of a procurement management plan as we proceed through this course. But I want you to get started from day one. Okay, I want you to start thinking and working on it from day one. Don't put it off until the last week. It will be too late to start working on it. Okay, so how do you get started? First of all, click on the project procurement management template. So this is the template that you will have to fill in with your own material. You will work on this assignment individually, right? So you'll complete one section at a time. You will delete all those placeholders, all those explanations in blue. You will just type in your information here. And then once you complete all those sections, once you add all the relevant appendices, you are done. Now I'm not going to talk about all of the sections of the procurement management plan that you have to submit at the end of the semester. But let me bring your attention to a couple of sections, if you don't mind. Number one, executive summary. I know, to me it sounds, I always feel that people are struggling with this, something that is very simple. It's, this section should be the easiest one to complete. I think it happens because they are not quite sure what it is. Look, this is what an executive summary is. It's a brief 1-2 pages summary of the entire plan. So don't treat it as an introduction. Don't give me some background info on your organization, on your project. Just tell me what the report contains. Give a brief yet meaningful summary. By that I mean don't write a lot, but at the same time every word, every sentence, every paragraph has to be very specific. It has to contain enough specific details in order for me to understand exactly what your procurement plan is about. Okay, so for example, don't tell me something like, this document is devoted to a procurement plan. Well, that's not specific enough. Tell me something like, this document describes a procurement plan for Corporation Alpha for the project involving installation of IoT system in the main office building, right? So give me specific details, what this project is about, which organization you're talking about, so that I know exactly what your procurement plan is on, right? So try to be brief yet specific. The other thing I would like to bring your attention is version control right here. Sorry, I've lost it. Yeah, right here, version history. So this is what I do. In order for you to receive a good participation grade, you need to share with me your drafts of your procurement plan. You can share those drafts at any point. It doesn't have to be a complete draft. You don't have to complete all the sections. In fact, you can complete only a few sections and then share it with me so that you can get my feedback. I'm doing this to make sure that you deliver a quality product at the end. I don't want to get any surprises at the end of the semester, and I don't want you to get unpleasant surprises either, right? For example, it could be that you're doing something that is very unrelated to this project, to the idea behind this project, and you will not find out about this until after the semester is over, right? By receiving a bad grade for this project. So I want you to share it early on, and when you produce those drafts, then keep track of the version. So if you produce first draft, call it version 1, put your name, put the date when you save this version, and then send it to me, right? And then I will approve your draft. I will put my name here, I will put my date, and I will I will just write something here, okay? Sorry, I think we can use like this reason just for general comments. It doesn't have to be like you justifying like what's inside that. So let's just treat it as general comments, okay? So let's use this version control. That's what a lot of IT professionals do when they update documents. They have some kind of version control system. So this one is fairly basic, but nevertheless, let's use it. So please share with me your draft. I suggest you do it at least 2 times. Share it with me 2 times so you get 2 rounds of feedback. Maybe share it once you put together like a very rough draft of what the project is about. I'll give you feedback. And then maybe before your final submission, share it with me as well. So share with me at least version 1 and 2. You're welcome to share it more often than that. On my side, I promise that I usually try to provide feedback within 48 hours. Okay, so I may not be able to do it if I'm traveling or something happens, but that's my benchmark. So if I'm not responding after 48 hours, send me a reminder email saying, look, I sent you this draft, you have not responded yet, please get back to me with your comments. Okay, so that's one thing. The other section I would like to bring your attention to, if you don't mind, is contracts. Okay, types of contracts that you will be using. Again, this is something that will be covered throughout the duration of this course. We'll talk about contracting, okay? But this is what I want you to do. Like, people ask me questions about this all the time. In the main body of the document, you don't have to provide the contracts, right? Just tell me like what types of contracts you'll be using. Let's say fixed price or time and materials, whatever you choose for your project, okay? And then you need to include some templates that you'll be using for drafting actual contracts somewhere in appendices, okay? So no need to provide contracts in their entirety, just describe them here and then refer to them in the appendices, right? When it comes to the appendices, I don't expect you to write a contract from scratch. I mean, this is what lawyers do and they spend a lot of time doing it. In my experience, I've done that. I've drafted a few contracts myself, But I think in both cases, I did it maybe 2 or 3 times. In all cases, those contracts that I drafted were based on other people's drafts. So my contract was based on an existing standard vendor contract within my organization. So what I'm trying to say here is that you're free to find templates for your contracts online. There are a lot out there. There are examples, there are templates, and just modify those templates a little bit for your purpose. Just make sure you cite them properly, which organization you're borrowing from, to make sure people don't suspect that you're plagiarizing somebody's contract. Just put it in appendices saying, and put like a note that says this contract has been modified from the standard template from, I don't know, Georgia state government. That's what I did actually. I think I borrowed much of this template for the entire procurement plan from Georgia Technology Authority Enterprise Portfolio Management Office, and I put it here, right? So feel free to do that. Feel free to borrow somebody else's contract template, but make sure you cite it properly. You make it clear that it's not yours. Okay. So those are the 2 sections within the procurement management plan that I would like, that I wanted to bring your attention to. Again, if you have any questions about other sections of the procurement management plan, then feel free to post your questions here. I'm sure we'll have a lot of discussions in relation to that throughout the duration of the semester. But one more time, I would like to emphasize this. You're not going to do well in this course unless you start working on your procurement plan from day one, right? From the very first week of the semester, maybe even before that, because I'm publishing this course almost 1 month in advance, okay? Once you're done reading the template, once you have a rough idea what this assignment is about, take a look at the project management plan rubric. So this is what I will use to grade your final version, right? So this is how I will assign points. I will mark my assessment here, and I will write my general comments. When it comes to submitting your project, I suggest you use this procurement plan submission link. Again, you can submit as many times as you want. I'll give you feedback. And then whatever you submit last, I will assume this is your final version, right? The last day to submit your final version is August 5th, okay? So you can submit a draft, and then I will look at this draft. I'll give you feedback without assigning any grade. I will only grade the last submission. But if you forget about it, that's fine. You could just send it to me by email. You don't have to use the submission link, although I prefer all submissions to be in one place, okay? Now, after you read the rubric, after you go over the rubric, take a look at a sample procurement plan, something that has been done by students in the past. It doesn't mean the plan is perfect. Maybe it has some grammatical errors, maybe it has some inconsistencies, but this is just for you to get an idea of how the final project should look like. Take this quiz. Only has 6 questions to show me that you read all those descriptions, you understand what this project is about, and then right after that, share your procurement plan ideas. And that, the deadline for that is July 5th. So tell me, tell me what kind of project your procurement plan will be for what kind of organization. This course has a service learning component where I encourage you to create something for a real organization, something that may benefit them. Maybe it will be related to the organization that you're involved with, where you're working at, or maybe you can do it for a particular unit of Murray State if you're not working. So tell me what your project will be about, right? Which organization and which project. In general, I'm okay with any idea, but please make sure your idea is approved by me. The only criteria I'm looking at is as follows. Your idea has to be small, manageable, and focused, so don't boil the ocean. Don't tell me that your idea is to replace the networking infrastructure for Murray State University. That's too big of a project to wrap your head around within the duration of 1 month, because this is how long the semester is, around 6 weeks, right? Less than 6 weeks. So don't do something big like that. Do something on a much smaller scale. Maybe it's a networking project for a particular building, like a dorm or college, something like that. Also, it has to be related to IT. I mean, if you're thinking about doing something in relation to air conditioning, I don't want that, because this course is devoted to information technology, to procurement and project management in the context of information technology, which involves hardware, software, and networking equipment. I don't know much about AC. I don't know much about robotics or things like that. Now, of course, your project may be making use of air conditioning, but there needs to be some kind of software or computer hardware component as well. Also, ideally, your project has to be related to your professional interest. I like it when people do something that is related to their work, so that they're linking what they're learning in this course with their own organization, with their own work environment. But this is not required because some people are not employed, some people are not sure where they want to work, so that's fine. But even if you are not working anywhere right now, do something that is related to your future career interest, future career goals, because again, it will help you, this project will help you to develop yourself, to get some knowledge in relation to the future career interests. Okay, so please share your ideas very soon. So this will be like an approval thread where I will just, you will post your idea, I may criticize it or I may ask for additional details, maybe I'll help you to narrow it down, but don't start working on your project until you get this final approval where I say, okay, go ahead, I like this idea, let's start working on it. All right, so this is the thread where we're going to do it. Okay, so that's it. Then once you get your idea approved, start working on your procurement plan, ideally starting week 1. Okay, and then at the end of the semester on August 5th, you will submit your procurement plan using this link, and I will grade it. Okay, and then just proceed one module at a time. So here you have to complete the chapter module, chapter 1 from Fleming. That's the book that we're using for this course. Here I have a video presentation on YouTube, so you can listen to my video presentation. You can also look at PowerPoint, so you can print PowerPoints and take notes. I've read this advice about online courses for students that you should treat online lectures as regular lectures. That just imagine that you're sitting in a lecture hall and you're listening to instructors, so you need to be taking notes to remember better, to remember which things were emphasized during lectures. And then take this quiz. Again, you have 2 attempts. As long as you do it before the deadline, which means by the end of July 7th, you have 2 attempts. You can improve your grade after the first attempt. It's open book, open notes. It's not timed. Okay, and then you'll proceed 1 chapter at a time. Everything has a specific deadline until until you hit the midterm exam. So you'll take the midterm exam that covers chapters 1 through 6 from Fleming. And then you'll proceed with chapter 7 through 13, which is the second portion of this course. And then you will take the final exam that will only cover the chapters covered after the midterm exam. Okay. And then right before the final exam on August 5th, you will submit your procurement plan. Okay, so that's it. That's all I wanted to say about getting started with this course, about completing this course in Canvas. Once again, this course has been published in its entirety. It's published nearly 1 month in advance. So there are no excuses for waiting until the very last day of the semester to start working on this course. Most importantly, to start working on procurement management plan. Why don't you start working on it right now so that you're under less stress towards the end of the semester? Okay. So that's all that I wanted to do. Obviously, I'm not saying goodbye. I'll be here. Again, if you have any questions in relation to the content, then please post your question in an appropriate discussion thread in Canvas. Of course, if you have something personal to bring up to my attention, something that you don't want others to see, then send me an email, please. Okay. So that's it. That's the end of my intro video. I hope you found it useful. I wish you all the best with this course and any other courses that you